Hello, welcome to my channel, this creative ends platform. If today is your first time stopping by, I welcome you. And if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, I beg you to do so because it's very important to me. It's just a way of telling YouTube that you love what I'm doing. I also appreciate it a lot. All right, today I am making video on this beautiful turban that you can see here, and I'll be showing you one after the other the things and the measurement of the things that I'll be using. So to start, I'll be using the material you see there. I cut it out for the band. I'll be using that for the band, and then I will also be using the sequence material for the main turban. You can see that right here the front of the turban has a plain material while the top has the sequence. So that plain material is what you have seen there, and this material with me here, I want to use it to line the inside, lining the inside of the turban. So I will use it to line it. After working with the sequence, I don't want it to show, so I'm going to line it with that. And then I will also be using this criloni. This criloni is a 1-inch criloni. I'll be using it for the design. You can see the parts raised up there where you see the feathers. That's what I use there. So that 1-inch criloni. And to cover the 1-inch criloni, I have my material which is measuring 3 inches. So when I fold it, I'll be using 1 inch to sew. Then I'll be left with 2 inch. You know, when you fold 2 inch, it will give you 1 inch on both sides. You understand? So for the both materials, both the sequence and the plain material, I will be sewing that size for me to fix in the 1 inch of criloni. Then I will also be using the molded part, this molded fascinator. I'll be using this molded fascinator. I mold it using the plain material, but to work with it, I'll be using the sequence to cover it, and to do that I will simply work with hot glue. All right, so for me to start, I will be crossing the base. I'll cross the base, I'll cross the band. Yes, so when I cross the band, when I cross it, I will put the sequence on top of it. I will use the right side of the sequence to face down. But before I will do that, I have to check for the part that is very stretchy, because that is the part you will use to face the front of the turban to enable it sit properly on the head. Is that okay? So I will use the right side to face down like you see me doing now, and then I will simply use my pin to pin it through on the crossed band. I will pin it through on it, and then after pinning it through on the cross band, I will bring the plain material which I told you I'll be using to line it. I will bring it and then pin it on it again. So when I'm sewing the first sewing, that's the band now, I'll be sewing both the lining and the sequence together on the base. Right now I have only the sequence, so the next thing I'm doing is that I will place the lining on it again. I'll place the lining on it like this, as you can see now, and then I'll just use the previous pin I used before. I don't need new pin, so that when I'm sewing it's not going to break my machine needle and all of that. So I'm just going to use the same pin I used before, pull it out and repeat it to pin this part. Is that okay? The reason I did it this way is for you to understand how I fix it. If not, I can simply put the two together, pin it together and then sew. But I want you, my viewers, to see what I am doing and understand what I am doing properly. Is that okay? All right. So you can see there's something you should take note of now. You see that the material I'm using to line is shorter than the sequence. It is so because I intend to pleat the sequence. You know, when you are pleating, the sequence will become shorter, and when you pleat also, it gives the turban a kind of weight. Do you understand? It gives it a kind of weight. So for the sake of that weight, I want to pleat, so that by the time you wear this turban, it will not just look well, how will I put it now? There's a way you wear some kind of turban, just look, it will not look I don't want it to look too simple. I want it to look heavy. I want it to look heavy. I want it to look gorgeous. Yeah. So I don't want it to just look that very simple, plain cloth on my head stuff. You understand? So right now, this is the lining. You can see I just shift it. While I'm going to be pleating this turban, the lining, I will remove it from it. So I'll look for a way to pull the lining out of the part where I am pleating. Is that okay? All right. So I'll quickly cut off this excess part from the lining. After which I will just show you how I will pleat it before taking it to my sewing machine to sew it. When I finish sewing, I'll come back and show you what I've done. So I'll just be pleating like this with the lining excluded. The lining will not be part of it. In short, when I will take it to my machine, I'll simply pull the lining to the front. I'll just like pull it out to the front, the side where I'm sitting now. You understand? Pull it out of this part. I'll pull it out from the under sequence completely. You understand? And then pull it to face myself while I will do the pleating with the sequence. When I'm done with that pleating with the sequence, then I will return it inward before I will close the turban. Is that okay? So you can see that as I continue to pleat the sequence, you see that it's getting short. Do you understand? It's getting shorter and shorter. So it will now almost become equal with the lining material, or maybe shorter than the lining, whichever case it is. But you see that was the reason at the beginning the lining was short. Is that okay? So this is how it will look. You can see the pleats on it, and then you see the first part of it, which is the band, are very smooth. You know, I always use this material to avoid this front inching the person wearing it. So I always like a plain material. So where my hand is now is the middle of the V, or the crossed band. So I'm going to fold it from that part after sewing it with my sewing machine. So please take note of that. I'm going to fold it from that part after sewing it. Then I'll take a measurement between 11, no, just say between 10 and 11 to sew it straight. Either I use 11 or 10, or I can use 10 and a half. Then I'll sew it the way you see me describing now, to that part, just like that. So after sewing, it's going to be very heavy, very thick. So I wanted to weave when I finished, but I could not weave because it was really thick. It was too thick. All right, so this is how it will look after sewing it. After doing the pleat, this is how it will look. Are you seeing it now? All right, so now to let you know that I did not sew the lining, I'll pull it out. You see, I did not sew it on the lining. Is that okay? While I was sewing, I actually stretched out the lining like this, which enabled me to just focus on the sequence to pleat it. You understand? So it was when I finished, I put it like this. So now that I am ready I'm done with my pleats and all of that, I will fold it and then sew it. When I'm done with that, I'll come back and show it to you. Hello, I do hope you are enjoying this class, and I hope you are seeing something interesting. If today is your first time stopping by Creative Hands Platform channel, please don't forget to subscribe, and also I want you to recommend this channel to others, because we are here to impact lives positively. With whatever you are learning from me here, you can actually have your own business. You can start making your own turban, and you can start making sales. You don't need anybody to start supplying you. Just make your own. Get a simple machine, very simple weaving machine, and just be conscious of what you are doing. Before you know it, you are on top of the game. That's just it. Do you get me? So whatever you are learning here, I am seriously teaching you what you need to know. So you don't need to just watch my videos and go. Please subscribe. Subscribe so that whenever I put up any new video, you will be notified, and then you quickly watch them and see how it can be helpful. Is that okay? All right, thank you so much for stopping by and watching our videos. So this video is still continuing. You will see that the turban part is almost done. I am done sewing, joining the turban. The next thing you see me doing there is just to pull it together using this loose stitches pattern. Do you get me? So I'll simply pull it together. Once I'm done pulling it together, we are going to start the second part of this turban, which is what you see on the top there now. We are going to start how we go about it. I've told you that I showed you the one I molded, though I did not include how to mold in this video. I have some videos on my platform that has the video on how you can mold your fascinators. So that's the reason I did not include it. Yeah, I did not include how to mold it, but everything about the design is in this video. So please don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Love you plenty. Thank you. Okay, this is the molded base that I have prepared using this mold that you see in my hands there. So I said I have other videos in my platform concerning how to mold it. All right, so I molded it with just the plain material, but I want it to align with the sequence, so I'm going to use sequence to just like wrap it around. So to do that, I just measured the base now, and I got 11, so I'll be cutting 11 by 11 to wrap it, so that I don't waste material. There's no need doing blind wrapping. When you are through, you just cut off. It's not right. Take your measurement and know the exact length of material that you will need. Is that okay? So I'm doing my wrapping with hot glue. Of course, you know hot glue is faster than UHU. UHU has its own part where it's very important, and hot glue has its own part where it is very important. Both of them are good glues, so you can use them for any of our work. But there are some work you cannot do using UHU, and there are some work you cannot do using hot glue as well. So as I proceed with this work, I used hot glue for some parts, and for some other parts I as well use the UHU glue. You understand? All right, so you can see how I went about doing my wrapping. I'm done wrapping now. I will just trim off the excess material from the inside. Once I'm done trimming it off, clean it, you can see how neat it is. It's just like maybe I wrapped it while molding. You can see it's very neat, very flawless, beautiful. All right, so you saw me while I was fixing this acrylic into this material before, and I've showed you the measurement. So it's time for me to use the acrylic to do my design now. So it's time for me to use the acrylic for the design, and you can see how I just like fold it up. This particular pattern is what I will use to do all my wrapping. I'm not folding anything different from what you just see me do now. Now there's something you will notice. You see the flexibility of this acrylic. You cannot like compare you wrapping acrylic with when you are wrapping cinnamon. You know how cinnamon is strong on its own. So for the acrylic, as I work with it, I will need to support it to achieve what I want. So I will need to do some kind of support. So that's why at this point I will not want you to just leave. I want you to finish up this video. I want you to watch it carefully so that you see how I do my support and how this turban came out so well. You understand? If you look at it, it's flawless, it's perfect, it's beautiful. So how it came out like that is what you are supposed to watch out for. So please make sure you finish watching this video carefully so you can see my wrapping. So when I finished crossing and mixing my colors, I got this. So I just did 2 sequence and then 2 plain. Now for my placement, I will need to first of all place this base on my dummy head. Of course, the dummy you see me using is called pinable dummy. So you can like press your pin through. Like what I just did was for me to just pass my needle through it and it's staying there. You understand? So that's just it. I cut off the excess part from this now, and this is what I'll get after cutting off the excess part. So it will be time for me to just attach that part already to the base, and I'll be doing that using my needle and thread. All right, so at this point now, I'm done attaching it to the base. I want to stand it. I want to hold it up. So you can see what I'm doing there now. I'll be using each one as support for the other. I'll use one to support the other. Just tie it with my thread. I'll support the next one. I'll tie it with my thread. So it will help me to stand it, you understand? So that you don't have one falling to the east, the other one falling to the west. So you try to like give it a support using each other, each of your design to support each other, or should I say each of the crinoline to support each other, and you can just do that using your needle and thread. And you can also do that using your hot glue, but it is stronger when you do needle and thread, but you can do hot glue. We do hot glue especially when it is cinnamon, but for this I prefer using my needle and thread. So you can see that it's not really detaching from each other, it's not falling off to the directions I don't want. So now I just use this feather I'm using is called tree, T arrow E, three feathers, three. So this is a three feather. I decide to use two, depending on how heavy, how gorgeous you want your fascinator or cap to look like. You can do two, you can do three. Me, sometimes, I told you before, I love embellishment a lot, so I do things that will just like bring out the work fast, sharp, like that. So after all the rough work of needle and all of that, I will need to cover it up, and for me to cover it up, I will be using the roses that you see there to cover it up. And then secondly, this turban now, I separated the fascinator from the turban. Do you understand? So it's a two-piece turban. So the fascinator is going to be resting on this headband that you can see on the headband. For me to be able to place it right and be sure of my positioning, I bring it back to my dummy head and then pick my position from that point. Are you okay? I look at it, okay, when it's like this is how it will be, this is when it will be perfect, this is when it will be beautiful. Is that okay? Then I'll carefully pull it out of the dummy's head. When I carefully remove it, it's just for me to maintain the position. Is that okay? I don't want it to shift from the position. So now that I'm maintaining that position, I'll simply take my needle and thread and then attach it, and this is what I will get. So don't forget, I said I will be covering this part that you can see there with the roses, so that it will be neat. All the thread work will be hidden and all of that. So right now, both parts for this turban is ready. The fascinator is ready. The turban cap itself is ready. So this is how it will look when my client will be putting it on. This is how it will look. It looks very wonderful, very gorgeous. And you can see me, I'm clapping for myself there, So I thought of something else for those people that might really love embellishment the way I do. So I decided, though I did not use it, I just want to show you that we can also attach it. You can also put these patches. You can see that it gives it a very different look, beautiful look. As far as I'm concerned, you can just use your UHU to fix that patches to it if you want something very gorgeous, you understand. But if you don't, there's no problem. For me, I did not attach the patches, and what I did was perfect. I love it. All right, so also remember that the part where you fix this band to the fascinator, your thread will also be showing, so there will be need for you to cover it. So if you are going to cover, you can either use your sequence to cover it, or you can use the plain material to cover it. Is that okay? So for me, I am using the plain material. I just use the zigzag scissors to trim to make sure that I have something beautiful. And then I did not use hot glue, but I used my UHU glue, which enable me to just fix it very flat. When you are using hot glue, sometimes for this work, it has this kind of rough look inside. So that's why I say there are some work you just do using UHU instead of hot glue. So this is all. I hope you enjoy my tutorials. I'll see you in my next video. Have a nice day and please subscribe. Bye.